Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you StarCraft number 500. This is my 500th game that is not related to a tournament. So yay, 500 StarCraft games already casted that were not part of a tournament. Here's to 500 more. I was trying to think what exactly I could do for my 500th video, trying to think of something special, but I didn't want to delay any of my videos, so I just looked through my replay list and looked through my emails, and I found an ArgosZeNex game, or ArgosZeNex game, so I decided that this would be the game that would be my 500th. Hopefully it does live up. Also, another thing to note, I did talk to Argos, and Argos is now going to be playing in the GSL as a Type A player or Group A player. I'm not exactly sure on the language. Not S-class, no, not, yeah, A-class player, not S-class. So now we see ArgosZeNex just down over here. A lot of Korean being talked, not exactly sure what. I can't read Korean, so my apologies there. But we do see a standard pylon being built over here. Most likely we'll see a gateway followed by a cybernetics core, as this one probe will be making its way up the ramp. This is ArgosZeNex versus Nang-CheonPrime. So it is going to be Zenex versus Prime here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. And one drone now making its way out, quickly trying to make sure that there is no proxy pylon here. And now pulling away and back with this one particular probe. An extractor is already placed down, so an extractor before a spawning pool will allow for very, very fast lings as soon as that one spawning pool is up. It should have about 100 gas. Back over here we do see the gateway already being built here. It looks as though the front door is going to lead straight into the base with another cybernetics core here most likely, and then the zealot holding position here, not allowing any units to be able to walk through. One drone will be able to now walk up this ramp and gain sight exactly on what is happening in Nang-Cheon's base. Not much really. One extractor, another pylon here, a pretty standard build so far, so nothing too out of the ordinary. The drone now turning around, trying to fight back against the probe. The probe looks like it would have won out on that fight, especially as that probe's mechanical brother is joining in on that fight as well. And now the drone perhaps going to try to, unable to grow up into an extractor there, and now just trying to run around the map. You see that one drone is already down to 11 hit points, 12 hit points, as it is slowly trying to regenerate that probe. However, already back up to 20 shields and 15 hit points. So that one probe will be able to get a lot of harassment down, as that one drone should try to get out at some point. Otherwise, ArgosZeNex may lose that one drone, but it doesn't look like he's at all concerned. He just want to get as much scouting information as this one cybernetics core is coming up. He needs to know if it is going to be a robotics facility or if it is going to be a Stargate or even a Twilight Council. He wants to know this is the critical tech point for a Protoss player. If you can figure out what of those 3 advanced buildings he is building, you know what he's going to be trying to go for. The drone is now permanently stuck inside. Unless he's able to mineral path through that one zealot, he will not be able to. And that probe finally deciding to start mining some minerals instead. The drone, however, if he's able to wander around pretty consistently, he may be able to get enough hit points to mineral path through this one zealot. However, there is a stalker now being trained. Is that drone going to try to mineral path away? No, he's not going to try to mineral path away. Just deciding to play ring around the base. Still taking a look inside here. That stalker will be able to catch up. ArgosZeNex needs to get out of there, and now that stalker getting some damage. That one drone trying to run away, it will not be able to. But back in the game, following a drone for long enough, a hatchery has been placed down by Zenex, so Zenex is going to be getting up to 2 bases in just a second. We do see that Zenex is getting a couple of Zerglings and an Overlord in play, so he will know if his opponent tries to go for an expansion. But interestingly enough, we now see a Stargate coming in, so it is going to be a 3-gate into a Stargate. The Stargate may train for Phoenixes or may train for Void Rays. Phoenixes are now much easier to train, as they only take 35 seconds to build, 25 if you chrono boost it one time, and that really helps out a lot in trying to deal with mass mutalist play. So we'll see how ArgosZeNex responds to patch 1.2. We do see a lot of drones still mining out here, so yeah, this is very, very heavy mineral saturation, and he's not getting any gas whatsoever, so he's not going to be teching the tier 2 at all. He does have the metabolic boost, but that is essentially it. So all he can really train at this point is spine crawlers, drones, and Zerglings. So ArgosZeNex still confusing me just a little bit, as we are now getting one spine crawler in play. There is also not that many queens out, so those Phoenixes, if they reach a critical number, are going to be able to deal a lot of damage. we just see ArgosZeNex just power droning, and his economy is much stronger, now sitting on 39 harvesters and getting some additional queens as well. So 2 queens in play, a 3rd queen now being trained. We are finally getting some more gas over here, but I don't see any additional extractors. We do see 1 evolution chamber though, as that overlord flies straight into a stalker and gets taken down. 2 phoenixes now on the move. We'll be able to get a lot of sight in just a second. There's that evolution chamber that I was talking about just moments ago, but many of those overlords are now going to get shot down, and that is going to be a problem. ArgosZeNex now down 2 overlords, is now supply locked at 55 over 52. He just finished training up 1 overlord. The overlord now trying to get back once again, and now in comes this 1 queen. The queen now needs to perhaps get some protection onto this 1 overlord. Once again, 2 queens trying to come in. Are we going to get a transfusion? Does not look like it. No transfusion. 3 queens, and now dealing with those 3 phoenixes in the air. So Phoenix harassment, very, very popular, especially with that reduced build time. We now see some spore crawlers coming in, so the days of Phoenix harassment are pretty numbered, as we now see the prime Protoss player establishing his expansion on the north side of the map. Economy-wise, let's take a look at it. 31 versus 45 drones. Obviously, we know that Argos has a much stronger economy. Gas-wise, though, he is still behind, only mining off of 1 extractor, finally sending in 3 drones onto that extractor over there, and we should be seeing an interesting tech into Tier 2. 1 Zergling getting picked up by a Graviton beam and shot down. Pretty standard, trying to make sure that that Zergling was not able to activate that 1 Xel'Naga watchtower. Zerglings now making their way out over here, are quickly going to get picked up once again, and down it goes. Evolution chamber, we are getting the level 1 missile upgrade, so this looks to be a tech into Roach Hydra. I like this move into Roach Hydra. Hydras are very, very powerful against Phoenixes. Even though Phoenixes do deal extra damage against light, they have to be able to Graviton beam the unit first. And as these creep tumors are being spread across the map, those Phoenixes are going to have a very, very difficult time. And Phoenix is getting split in between these 2 locations here. The Phoenix is now trying to run away, going after some of those overlords as well. The spore crawlers getting in some damage as well, and those Phoenixes are able to back off. So the Phoenix is still making patrols. We now see the level 1 weapons upgrade coming online, and a robotics facility. Very, very important to get that robotics facility, as the robotics facility will allow the training of Colossi eventually. And Colossi are going to be very critical in dealing with the Hydralisks that are green trained. Groove Spines currently coming online, about 50 more seconds to go. We are also getting Roaches as well. The Roaches will be some time before they're useful, as we need the movement speed on these Roaches. We are at the middle portion of this game already. Taking a look at the unit count, once again, 44 harvesters compared to 60. ArgosZenex's macro is just simply superior at this time, even though he has a much smaller army. His army is ridiculously small at this stage, only 175, but he is training up 9 Hydralisks and 14 Zerglings. This goes to show you how strong a Zerg player can be. He is now running off of 3 hatcheries, and he canceled the Spire. That is interesting that he's canceling his Spire. He will not be able to get any Corruptors at all. So will the Colossi be able to macro up and deal a lot of damage? We do see the Robotics Bay now coming online. It will be a little bit of time before the Colossi have the extended thermal lance range, adding even more damage. But the Hydralisks, if they are grouped very, very tightly together, our days are numbered. But now we see ArgosZeNex massing up to a 2100 mineral army, and with his economy behind him, he should be able to get a very strong economy going in just a second. Once again, more and more Phoenixes trying to come in, trying to get more damage onto some of those Overlords. Hydralisk now trying to come in as well, and now that Overlord is down to 33 hit points. But as these creep tumors are now making their way out, we need to see an Observer. Without an Observer, those Hydralisks move so quickly, as fast as a stimmed Marine, without any of the loss on hit points. And now in comes Zerglings. Zerglings trying to get some damage over there. They are currently stuck, but in comes some Hydralisks as well. Hydralisks getting some damage onto some of those units, but no Ultralisks to break down any of those force fields. And now more Hydralisks are still being trained. Army-wise, 26-25 versus 21-50. Things are looking good for ArgosZeNex, but it can still be anyone's game right now. Creep is now being spread across the map as well. In comes some more force field. So wow, force field now being spread, and ArgosZeNex using a proxy, using these overlords as creep, able to start burrowing them in just a second. And now the Hydras are now just starting to battle up onto that high ground as well, able to take down one of those gateways. continuing the fight, and now those spine crawlers are starting to root themselves, and this is going to become very, very difficult for Nang-CheonPrime to really do anything about it. He needs to try to take down these robotics facility. One robotics facility, no, the pylon behind it was taken down, but we still have one pylon powering these over here. Hydra is still coming in. Hydra is now trying to get some more damage on these Colossi. Those Colossi do have decent range and also have a lot of damage behind them. Range of 6, no extended thermal lance range just quite yet. Zerg is now pouring through once again. So ArgosZeNex is taking a beating, but he is trying to put some aggression. There are some spine crawlers in over here, gonna try to root themselves along this side, but I do not know if this is gonna really work out for them, as those Colossi should be able to come in. Those spine crawlers are going to be able to root themselves before that creep now pulls back. So now those spine crawlers are going to get some damage off. Down goes one of those, one of that forges, and now down goes another spine crawler. So 2 spine crawlers taking down a forge and a couple of stalkers over here, and now we are in full-blown retreat by ArgosZeNex. So ArgosZeNex is in a little bit of trouble. We are getting the level 2 weapons upgrade though, and also getting some roaches. Roaches are very, very strong and very critical at this battle point, as they are more durable, having a lot more hit points. I believe, what, 40% more hit points, or almost probably 70% more hit points. They're a lot more hit points than a Hydralisk. They do have a little bit less range, but they also have a natural base 1 armor, so they are much stronger against zealots, making them a very good front ground unit. Production wise, we still don't see any spires though, so with no spire, no corruptors, I'm a little concerned as to what ArgosZeNex can do. One thing that's currently stopping Nang-Cheon though, he is currently supply locked at 100 over 100. We do see a couple phoenixes in the air, able to just gain a lot of sight once again. 2 creep tumors now being laid down as well. The stalker should be able to and will start cleaning up this creep highway, as he does not want to give that early warning detection system with that creep and the additional movement speed for those roaches and those Hydralisks. Army-wise, you can still see mass production coming in from Argos. Argos was training up, 9 roaches at a time, and still continuing to train 9 roaches off of 4 hatcheries with 3 queens. So very, very much on top of his production so far this game. More roaches now being trained up once again. Stalkers on the move will be able to clean up these creep tumors the instant this observer moves itself and tries to reveal. There you go. Down goes 2 more creep tumors, and 2 more creep tumors will get shot down again. ArgosZeNex needs to move out with this army, and it looks as though he is going to be moving out along the far side, but it is going to be quickly met with a group of stalkers here. So the stalkers and Colossi quickly come back in, and now in come the roaches. Roaches are now trying to just simply run around and getting a very decent surround on top of those units there, and wow, there's the GG. That GG seemed a little bit early to me, but taking a look at the amount of units that were lost here, both Colossi were already taken down. A sheer massive number of roaches. Roaches are upgraded 1-0 over here. We still have decent probe saturation, 56 compared to 60, but with ArgosZeNex taking up his 3rd base, I believe that Nang-Cheon just didn't believe that he could stay inside. He also faked a drop. So ArgosZeNex, having a massive number of overlords in this location here, was pretending to do a drop perhaps straight into the main base. And I believe that's really why Nang-Cheon GG'd, thinking that there was actually something in those overlords. But those overlords, as we can see, are completely empty. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Nang-Cheon and ArgosZeNex here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Thank you guys for all who have watched all of my games so far. I know some of you guys have some questions about the Machinima Realm Invitational and the finals. The finals will all be placed on the Machinima Realm YouTube channel, so you'll have to go over there to check it out. I will be doing recaps. I will be giving insights. There are at least 4 games to play, hopefully 7. I would love to see an ace match with Idra versus QXC. QXC, a very, very imaginative player. Idra, a very, very cold, I wouldn't say cold, calculating player. And knowing the timing on Zerg just very, very well, and when to produce units, when to macro. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned more from the Machinima Realm Invitational. Check out Machinima Realm if you guys have not done so already. The games may already be up by the time you watch this. Yeah, thanks for watching.